Hi everyone, Armin Pyre, Superintendent of Schools here in Medway. Very excited today to be bringing you another spotlight on excellence. We're going to start with our amazing and awesome science educator here at McGovern Elementary School, Stephanie Fogerin. And I guess I'd start, Stephanie, by asking you to tell me a little bit about your position and why and how it exists.
Yeah, so several years ago, I was a first grade teacher on a team, and there was a budget walking tour. And during that budget walking tour, one of the suggestions that had come up through the teachers was to have science as part of a specialist because it's a totally different subject than ELA and math, and it takes a lot of attention. I see every student twice a week for 40 minutes, and then the lovely part about this job is I get to see them twice a week for 40 minutes in kindergarten, and I get a whole nother year for twice a week for 40 minutes, so I get to see them for 2 years.
And there are 8 classes each grade, so there are
Yes.
16 classes in total, so
Yes.
you have 32 sessions of science
Yes.
each week. And the last question, is there a particular lesson that you get really excited about?
There's several lessons that I really love. One that we did recently was we were talking about traits, external traits on animals. And we did an activity where they were allowed to search for moths. And the moths were specifically placed on paper trees that matched the printout on top of the moths. And then students were able, after they did that and discovered why they did camouflage, why they did not, they were able to take their own moths and they were able to pick an area in the classroom to camouflage themselves. And so students were sticking them on tissue boxes and all kinds of different things in the room and being able to use that skill in a living and breathing hands-on way.
That's great. And I think one of the things for me that's so powerful is, as you mentioned at the outset, this is an idea that sort of bubbled up from our teachers that was part of a discussion that we're able to put into action that clearly has benefited our students, but also our classroom teachers who can focus differently on the core subjects that they're required to teach. And for you as a science specialist to make sure that students are really engaged in hands-on inquiry-based science learning, which is terrific. Thanks so much, Stephanie. Thanks for the work that you do, and we appreciate your efforts in science. Today we're really excited to introduce 2 of our amazing science educators at the Memorial School. I'll ask them to introduce themselves. First,
my name is Nicole Ball, and I teach 2nd and 4th grade science.
My name is Annie Colamaria, and I teach 2nd and 3rd grade science.
and part of what we wanted to do in this Spotlight on Excellence is really highlight the structure that we have here at the Memorial School and also at the McGovern School that we think really supports students learning in the area of science. So I'll start by asking you, what do you think the advantages are of the structure we have, which is different than other elementary schools?
I think one of the advantages is that having the students come out of the room and go to science is the fact that we can specifically focus on science when they are in front of us. We have them, 2nd grade, we have them 2 days a week, and 3rd and 4th graders, we have them 3 times a week. And that allows us to tie together our lessons, we can get through more content.
I've heard a lot of feedback from parents that they're so happy we have this model at our school because they feel like their child has the opportunity to shine where they might not shine in other areas.
And what about a particular lesson or unit that you really enjoy teaching? I'll start with you.
It's really, really hard to pick one. I would either have to say life cycles, and we learn a lot about all different kinds of organisms, or our last units on forces where students are building with VEX pieces, and it's lots of hands-on opportunities for them.
Talk a little bit about a particular lesson or unit that you really like to teach.
So in 4th grade, I have 2 favorite units. One of them, they both have to do around the earth. So the students learn about how and why the earth is constantly changing, and then that leads into the human impact and how humans are impacting the earth and why it's constantly changing. I love these 2 units because it's something that we can physically go outside and we can see what's happening. We can see erosion, we can see weathering. There's lots of different experiments to help students connect that information. And then when it comes to human impact, this is something that is happening a lot in our world right now. There are current events in the news, so the kids might go home, they might hear something, then they come back, and they're connecting it to science. I think one of the huge benefits to being a specialist is align our science units to the reading units. So now teachers and students are seeing the connection, the kids are getting excited, oh, we're reading about this in class, or oh, that's a vocabulary word from science. So it's really creating that cross-curricular connection.
And I would just sort of close with thanking our extraordinary elementary science educators. While the structure is an important element of what I think is a really great experience for students, it's your work each and every day and your dedication to science education that really ensures that our students are having a great experience. That's another installment of the Spotlight on Excellence. Thank you.